At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Hatred destroys the one who hates. The others that you hated go on about their business, care less.
So the legacy of Medgar Evers is an understanding of our own humanity and of our own responsibility of seeing that in other people.
He is written out of history. He's just not included as Malcolm and Martin. To me, it's the 3 M's, and Medgar's right up there at the lead.
Everlasting, Life and Legacy of Medgar Evers. Watch now on MPB Passport. Visit mpbonline.org for more.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the neighborhood. This is Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White, Carol Palmer. Good morning, Carol.
Morning, Mal.
Morning. It's Monday morning. How in
it
the
is
world are
indeed.
you?
It's a beautiful morning.
Yes, it is.
Got a little run up to Christmas here.
Yeah. So we got a lot of jazz to talk about this morning in our second and third segments. We're going to be talking about barbecue. For those of you who watch us on YouTube, you'll see there's a beautiful plate of beef brisket out here in the studio. Kody McCraney, Dakota Kody McCraney, chef operator of a new business called Boondocks BBQ, opening up in the English Village in Belhaven, but we'll talk more about that in the next segment.
You know, I'd just like to tell you how well that brisket pairs with chantilly apple cake.
If our viewers can see, Carol and I have already been into the brisket, so we both had a nice chunk of it this morning. But let's start with the chantilly apple cake, shall we? My wife, Kara, created this over the weekend. It's her traditional cold oven apple cake, put in a spring form pan, and cooked, and then flipped over, and chantilly sauce administered to it.
Yeah.
And you have a piece.
Well, of
Marissa
course,
has
I
a piece.
was eating it right after the brisket. But you know, most chantilly cakes have berries, berries in them, and are a little fluffier. But Kara's is just. It's extraordinary. It's
dense because that's a cold oven vanilla cake that she makes. And usually chantillies are multi-layered. This is a single. So anyway, it's her own version, and it's mighty tasty.
It is mighty tasty.
Hope you enjoy that.
What else is going on in the kitchen over
What is going on? Well, that's about it in our kitchen. I did make I made this snack on, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. And I shared a photo of that. And I think, Marissa, do we have the snack? The photo of the situation?
Speak to us.
Anyway, there it is. So I made a piece of
oh my gosh,
cheese toast with sharp cheddar cheese, topped it with slices of fresh tomato, roasted that put that in the broiler. And as you can see, I like it nice and crisp. Broiled it off. Broil the tomatoes, the cheese, the bread, and the olive oil, and then put 3 dollops of the Creole tomato dressing that I love so much.
Which is our new favorite thing.
On top of the tomatoes, and that was my snack. I think it was Saturday I had that. But anyway, I wanted to share that. I love a good piece of cheese toast, and I like to do different things with it. So
yes, indeed. Well, I've still been doing turkey leftovers, but don't worry, I froze all the turkey pieces and parts. But boiled down a couple of turkey carcasses and made stock. Made turkey bone soup, as we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And then I did a creamed turkey. It's like a turkey hash. That's one of my husband's favorites. For several years, I chased down. I would make things. He'd say, no, that's not the right thing, and it's not like the 21 Club in New York, blah, blah, blah. Finally...
It's a lot of pressure on yourself there, Carol.
It was a lot of pressure. But finally, I thought, I kind of remember something like that. And so I found from the 1950s Good Housekeeping recipe for turkey hash a couple of years ago, and voila, there you have it.
There it was.
Makes the man happy.
You thought it was the 21 Club, but it's Good Housekeeping.
How do you know when you're up against? They do chicken hash at the 21 Club,
okay.
But at our house, it's turkey hash from Good Housekeeping.
All right, a couple of mayo in the news. One, you sent me an article about properly storing mayonnaise. And I was fascinated about this because it had never occurred to me to leave mayonnaise out on the counter at room temperature, stored that way, because I've always thought about the raw eggs.
Correct.
So the article went on to explain a variety of things, and you can... one was, it just said that a lot of people refrigerate. 97% of people who buy and have mayonnaise in their home store it in the refrigerator. And they listed, points for why one would do that. Lasts longer, tastes fresher, keeps its consistency better, keeps that smoothness. But 3% of you guys... out there, leave your mayonnaise out on the counter like I do my butter.
Which we call house butter.
House butter.
Learned.
So anyway, I thought it was interesting. I'd never thought of mayonnaise in that way, but one never knows. And that you got that from some magazine or something.
I can't remember. I'm, glancing at things all week, trying to find things to stump Malcolm.
And Carol, speaking of mayonnaise.
Yes.
The Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl is coming up on January the 2nd. It is held in Charlotte, North Carolina. This year will feature
Mississippi State.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
I think we should go road trip.
With 7 losses, they go to the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl. So good for State.
Yeah.
Go Dogs.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Hey, did you...
And if we don't mention the other schools, Jackson State lost just by a hair.
To Prairie View.
I watched that game. Huge crowd at the Vet. Ole Miss in the National College Football Playoffs. On the 20th, they will host Tulane in Oxford. That will be a culinary gathering.
It'll be a culinary mashup.
Will it ever? Let's see. Southern had a great season. I don't know about Delta State, Alcorn, and Valley, if someone knows. And so this is not a sports show, but I wanted to mention each and every one of those schools. So Mississippi State goes to the Mayonnaise Bowl on January the 2nd. So check that out. Now, Carol, in the news, a magazine called The Local Palate, published in Charleston, South Carolina, recently had I think it was a poll. I'm not quite sure about how they arrived at this, but Jackson, Mississippi was named the best culinary town in the South. Do you...
I know. I think it's great. It's after months of reader voting. It's the most delicious city in the state.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I can go with that.
Because we have, this is what it says, gas station gizzards, meat and threes, breweries, barbecue crab cakes, Delta tamales, and handmade pastas are just a few. Of the things we have.
Now, I noticed in the online article of The Local Palate, where they talk about Jackson being awarded the best culinary town in the South, they mentioned a number of restaurants. One of them, do you have that list?
I do.
Okay. Would you mind sharing with our listeners?
Sure. There's so many. I'm trying.
They mentioned
best retro vibe is Brent's.
Yep.
Best live music, Helen Mal's, of course. The best place to hang with friends, the walk-in at Helen Mal's. Best date night spot, Elvie's. Best bang for your buck, the Mayflower. Best pasta and pizza, Polito. So,
and then there was the Big Apple Inn was recognized
Yeah.
for something. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, this is good, and congratulations to Jackson for being recognized as the best culinary town in the South by the Local Palate magazine in Charleston, South Carolina.
It really has been great to watch Jackson come into this over the past few years. You know, more and more family-type restaurants, owner-operator restaurants. You know, we're going to talk to somebody else today that's opening in Belhaven. We're really on the map now.
Yeah. Also in the news, Just Vanilla, the bakery in the Dueling Hall building in Fondren, and we've had them on before. Is that right, Marissa? We had
Yes.
the owners.
We had, Guillermo.
Guillermo
Yes.
came on a few months ago. Anyway, he's expanding, or their business is expanding. They will be opening. They have already opened up in the Regions Plaza downtown, a Just Vanilla coffee shop and pastry bar there in the Regions, which is the old Deposit Guarantee
Bank building, but that's fabulous.
Yeah, that's great. Great for downtown. And Carol Reading, Cooking and Coping, I was scanning it yesterday, stumbled into one of our favorite posters, Jill Morgan.
Yes, she's fabulous.
She does a great job. She posts constantly. She engages, and she's a part of that community. But she shared a photograph of a beef stew she made. And to me, nothing says the coming of winter in a culinary sense more than beef stew and chili. And her beef stew was just gorgeous.
Yeah, I made the same comment on it. 'Tis the season. I mean, you're just
Right.
entering into the season. I was thinking myself of making Julia Child's beef bourguignon over Christmas. Nothing says it. Did you see the Tim Pierce post?
Yes.
About a week he had one funny one yesterday, but about Sloppy Joe's.
I saw it. I don't remember the details.
Well, he was saying that one of the things he remembers, his first things making on his own, his mother called them spoon burgers.
Oh.
She had a lot of alternative names.
Yeah, like dressed eggs.
Like dressed eggs and
which
so.
our community loves to talk about deviled angel dressed eggs.
Yes,
I mean,
I know, that's it.
and mayonnaise
But he
and
was
hot dogs.
talking about how the Sloppy Joe was really part of the food culture in the 60s, and it spoke to me because I grew up in a large family, 6 kids.
Yes.
And we would have vats of Sloppy Joes. And Sloppy Joe, which is ground beef with a seasoned tomato sauce on it. You can buy Sloppy Joe mix. It said it was named after a cook named Joe in Iowa who created a sloppy sandwich.
Well, and it's an alternative use of ground beef. And I will say this about Sloppy Joes, and I hadn't thought about this until you brought this up. My stepmother, Annie Jane White, I loved her Sloppy Joes. It was one of my favorite meals was when she made the Sloppy Joes. And I'll tell you what first of all, she just had a nice blend of the ingredients that went into the ground beef. With tomatoes, had a little hot sauce in it. It was just delightful. But the thing she did that I really loved, and she did this with hamburgers also, is that she toasted the top and bottom of the buns so that they would be crisp.
Oh, yes.
Have a little bit of crunchiness to them.
Yes.
She'd take bacon drippings and put on the outside of the bun and put them in the oven or put them on the stove. And toast them off, and I really like that.
Well, I'm going to propose, Malcolm, that you and I dedicate ourselves in 2026 to bringing Sloppy Joes back to the table.
Why not? No greater cause.
Yeah, no greater cause.
As Eudora told Willie when he said, they were out for a Sunday drive. They came to this intersection, and it said Paradise Road. And Eudora says to Willie, well, Willie, do you think we should take it? Or actually, it was the other way around. Willie said to Eudora, you think we should take that exit? She said, we'd be fools if we didn't. So we'd be fools if we didn't explore Sloppy Joe's.
Hey, did you look at the food list for the week? Because there's something that's perplexing me.
All right, go ahead. Yes,
Okay.
I looked at it.
Well, I mean, today's National Chocolate Brownie Day.
Yeah.
I love that. But hey, what about December 11th is National Noodle Ring Day?
Yeah, I didn't know what
Do
a
you think
noodle
that's
ring
weird?
was. What's a noodle ring?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
No, I've never heard of a noodle ring.
I mean, do you think they mean like noodles that are like penne shape?
I thought you were going to say something like, what are those little, or what are those little?
SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs. Maybe those are rings. I have no
I
idea
know.
what a noodle
I
ring
was
is.
just-
Maybe we need to search
I thought
the
you
internet.
were probably on top of it.
That one I'm not.
But everything has its day.
Everything has its day, particularly here on Deep South Dining.
There's one ice cream and violins day.
That one threw me off. Ice cream and violins. Now, Marissa, you came up with this.
You know,
What's the backstory?
I always just hope that y'all know what it means. Honestly.
That's two things we got to search.
Well, I am
Ice cream
looking
and
up
violins.
noodle rings, and they have a picture of a bowl of something that looks like SpaghettiOs.
Okay. Well, I was
So-
close then. There you go.
Remember,
Now,
SpaghettiOs.
Hey, our great friend, well, I think of her as a great friend. She's been on the show a couple of times. Vivian Howard.
Yes.
I love this woman's work. She has a new special that is being aired on public broadcasting in, I guess, North Carolina, where she's from. It's called Kitchen Curious, and I sent you guys a link to it. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but I love her work. I love her cookbooks, and I'm really excited about the new upcoming Kitchen Curious. And maybe, Marissa, we can figure out what the schedule is, and we can talk about it later.
Well, I have a better idea.
Oh, okay.
Let's get her on the show again.
Let's get her on the show again.
She's
Sounds
a
good.
lot of fun on,
Yeah, I like
the radio.
Yeah, Vivian Howard. If you haven't checked it out, the new TV show on public broadcasting is Kitchen Curious. The first episode is about pickles and a pickle festival that she attended. So, nothing is closer to my heart, of course, than the humble pickle.
Yeah.
And so,
Put it on the list.
And so that's all the news that's fit to print today on Deep South Dining. We're going to take a short break. And as advertised, when we come back, we're going to talk about barbecue. Carol mentioned new restaurants in Jackson. This is a new location for Kody McCraney. He is the chef owner of Boondocks BBQ. It's a 12-year family tradition in and around the coastal Mississippi. They have a location in Loosedale, a location in Wiggins, and now a location in Jackson in the English Village Shopping Center, the old Jitney 14, where Lou's once was. So we'll be back in a few minutes, talk to Kody McCraney about all things barbecue. We'll be right back with more Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, is a brand new companion podcast to the MPB documentary Everlasting, the life and legacy of Medgar Evers. Join me, Rita Brent, as we dive deeper into the story with exclusive interviews and conversations about the enduring legacy of Medgar Evers. Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, available on the MPB app or wherever you get your podcasts, with new episodes every other week. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Yeah, we're going down in the Boondocks.
We've been waiting for that opportunity.
That was you, Carolyn. That was a good one. We want to welcome Kody McCraney, who is the chef owner of Boondocks BBQ, located in Loosedale, and also Wiggins, and now in Jackson at the English Village Shopping Center in Belhaven, in the former location of Lou's. What was the rest of the name of Lou's? Lou's
Full Serve.
Full Serve. There you go. Cody, welcome.
Hey, thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Glad you're here, man.
Man, glad to be here.
We got Carol, you got a text from someone in Spain, did you say?
Oh, Malcolm, this is so fun. Jenny Pugh Hernandez, originally from Arkansas, but from Spain for the past 30 or 40 years. She's one of our great original cooking and coping posters.
Yeah.
Although Jenny has not posted recently, we've got to correct that. But a great friend of the show, and I just got a text from her and say, I'm sitting here in my cabin in Arkansas, I guess where they come for the holidays, with Juan Louis, her fabulous husband, listening to you and Mal live and having the best time. Hope you're doing well and life is good.
All right.
Warm regards. That's so cool.
That's very nice. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for taking a moment to reach out. We're always happy to hear from our people out there.
And, you know, cooking and coping brings so many people together, and it even brought Jenny Pugh Hernandez and Juan Louis to Vienna when people from Jackson went to hear one of Jackson's own, William Garfield Walker, conduct his orchestra in Vienna. And
wow.
It's just amazing how...
Were you there when...
I was there. Jenny and her husband came. Jenny met William through cooking and coping. So, I mean, it's just a full circle.
It's a beautiful
Fabulous
thing.
people.
Well, Cody, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for coming in the studio this morning, and welcome to Jackson. We're glad that you are here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, man?
So I'm from Loosedale, Mississippi, but, you know, in Loosedale, I was telling Miss Carol on the way down, it's like Jackson. There's so many different parts, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm from a community of Bendale, and that's where my first restaurant is. My mom opened that up in 2013 with my dad, and it was just, you know, I could define it as a community restaurant, you know, because you're kind of just feeding the same group of people every week in and out. I mean, you know, you got people passing through and people coming from the city of Loosedale and Wiggins and Mobile, and, you know, New Augusta, Van Cleve, people traveling all around to come eat with you. But I always describe it now after I've kind of, you know, moved off into Wiggins and everything. The first restaurant is really just a home-based community restaurant. And
you do 3 meals or just 2 there?
So we're there from 11 to 8 every day.
Okay.
We go to
lunch
bed.
and dinner.
Yes, or we go to bed in the woods pretty early.
Yeah.
So we close up at 8, and we've been just Thursday, Friday, and Saturday there ever since we opened. We started opening up more days a week, but there's 2 or 3 restaurants. Well, there's 2 or 3. There's a store that has a restaurant built into it, another restaurant. So 3 days works the best for our people there. And it gives us time to prep and cater during the week. So we've enjoyed being there for a long time, and Mom started a really good business over there. and it's continued to be one over the past 12 years. It hadn't did nothing but grow.
It's so cool to be a community restaurant where people just don't come for special occasions. It's like their kitchen table.
Yes, ma'am. We see the same group come in, every day, and they're our friends, family. We treat them like friends and family. And, it's funny when I hire somebody new, I'm like, that's going to be your best friend in just a little while, and you don't realize it,
Right.
So it's really cool.
So it was opened by your parents.
Yes, sir.
Was your dad the smoker? Who?
No, mom. Mom was the smoker queen.
Wow,
it's hilarious.
okay.
She literally names some of her logins barbecue queen. She kind of gave herself that title, but she deserves it. She can cook. I made a joke the other day. Mom always give me the end pieces of the ribs, and I didn't really understand what everybody was talking about. Mama's food was so good until I actually got old enough to buy a rib plate.
You were on rib tips.
I got like the last bone. Mama gave them to me when I was growing up, and everybody said, "Man, your mama's ribs are great." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're pretty good, but I'm just eating the ends." I didn't understand. She was giving me the stuff she wasn't selling,
Right.
But no, mama could cook, man. And my brother bought her a little electric smoker. It's probably around 2009, 2010, and Mama cooked on that thing all the time. And over time, she kind of learned how to do it. And Mama always wanted to open up a restaurant. She was a preschool teacher, and Dad just loved talking to people. Mama did too, and so they wanted to go in this restaurant thing together. So they opened it up in the whole 2000, end of 2012, early 2013, because I believe we opened up in August of 2013. I was probably 6th, 7th grade, and we was cooking every weekend, just letting people try stuff, different seasons, different cook times, and then, most of the sides is like family recipe type stuff we've paired with, coleslaw and baked beans and stuff like that, green bean stuff we did all the time at the house. But everything else was like the barbecue side of it, the ribs, the chicken, the brisket, the pulled pork. That was just trial and error. Mama learning, how to do it and how to cook it in large quantities and make it taste just like you made it, just like you nursed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was hard.
Now, are you in an old building in Bendale or out on the highway bypass or what? Where are you?
We're on 16 section land, which is land owned by the government, owned by schools, for those who don't know. And we built a building on it. So, literally, I think the first building was like 18 or 22 by 40. Like we built it and had a drop shed on. We've expanded on about 4 times. So it's cool. It started off seating 12 people, and then we built onto it. Now it seats like 60. So we got probably room for 60 to go in. So it's been pretty cool. We had a produce stand on it for a while, and during COVID, we kind of just converted it into a restaurant because the restaurant was busier than the produce stand. And they opened up a Dollar General. Can you believe that? So right down the road, so they had produce and stuff. So we wound up just expanding the restaurant. But yeah, man, it was so cool, being there my whole life and working in restaurants and working in the restaurant and, meeting people every day and learning how to cook and stuff like that. So it was kind of something that I didn't, at that time when I was growing up, I didn't think I wanted to do it, but I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I didn't really get that desire to be in restaurants again until I got back in college because I went to Belhaven in Jackson.
Okay.
So did you go to Loosedale schools or Bendale schools?
Well, I went to Central School as far as elementary school, but George County is the only school in George County.
It's consolidated.
Yes, sir. So everybody, no matter if you're from Agricola, Rocky Creek, Bendale, wherever you go to George County High School. That's why it's a 6A school in the middle of nowhere because the whole county's going there. But we're we were there and everything, and so I went to Belhaven from George County, played ball over there for 5 years.
Football,
yes,
okay.
sir. I played linebacker for 2 years, and we graduated a bunch of D linemen, and they made me gain 40 pounds and moved down, and man, I loved it. I had a great experience there, academically and sports wise. You couldn't ask to go to a better school. And then I just kind of got off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Go right ahead.
But
I'm fascinated by the tangent.
But yeah, so I went to Belhaven. Fell in love with Belhaven. But I went there for 5 years. COVID kind of messed up our time, right? So we had a whole nother year of football playing to do. But schooling was the time where you could you was in your dorm all the time. You could tack on these online classes and knock your credits out and everything. So I kind of got ahead in school because that's the only thing we had to do. And the last 2 years I was there, I was free range to make money, And so I was like, well, I like to hang out with my friends. It takes money. I like to date women. It takes money. So I met a friend of mine now really one of my best friends, Jonathan Torres, I met him, and they own Gringo's Tacos in Fondren.
Oh, yeah.
So I started, waiting tables for him during lunch. And then it kind of grew to waiting tables to, after football practice was over, I'd come wait tables at nighttime. And then I winded up taking caterings for them. And then I winded up being kind of like a bar manager for them and, and just, kind of taking front of the house inventory and things like that. So, being around them guys every day kind of made me fall back in love with being in a restaurant because I was there all the time.
Plus, you got a totally different kind of restaurant experience from your family. I mean,
There's no doubt.
That was like getting an education.
I was the pickiest eater in the world when I showed up there, and there was this lady named Miss Martina in the kitchen, and she didn't speak real good English. She spoke, but she'd say, "Come try." And every day, it don't matter what it was, she stuck it in my mouth. I had to try it. So I learned to love a lot of things.
Uh-huh. Did you work with McKee Wadlington, Mac? You may not remember it.
Was he working in the kitchen? Or?
Yeah, he worked in the kitchen. He later worked at Hal & Mal's. And anyway.
Got blonde hair?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I did. It was like in the in-between times when I went back, when I left, and then I come back. So
tell me about the pop-ups you did with Gringo's.
So that was cool. So I guess I'll jump back to George County and to give you the proper story.
Okay, so I think I got things out of sequence.
Yes, ma'am. No, it's fine. I jumped ahead of myself a little bit. But, well, not really. I guess I was on track. So I'm going to blame it on you. That's fine. Yes, ma'am. It's your fault.
Malcolm blames everything, I think, so
it can't be our fault. As guys, that's what we do. We got to throw it on somebody. But what was cool was, I fell back in love with the restaurants. And then I went back home to Lucedale, and Mom was kind of at the point of her life where she was fed up with the paperwork and the hustle and bustle of a restaurant. She hated the ordering. She didn't like writing all the checks and balance and everything. But I went to school for that. I went to school for accounting and business, right? So I said, you know what, Mom? I said, don't sell the restaurant. Don't let somebody else run all that, I said, just sell it to me. You can come to work and I'll take care of you when you're old, right? So that's kind of what deal we made. And so I took it over and I run it, real hard. I kind of remodeled it, did some floor stuff, pushed advertising and catering really hard because I had that background from Gringo's and Jackson. And I moved on, and we wound up doing a lot of pharmaceutical catering on the coast. Hospitals get fed, 3 or 4 times a day, every day. And so I wound up doing a lot of that. I was traveling, 45 minutes to Biloxi every day, bringing food for 60, 70, whatever they have you. And it wound up growing the business a lot. And just from that, we would get a lot more, door traffic where we was. And we did a lot of the clinics and stuff in Wiggins.
Yep.
And people was just saying, man, if you was in Wiggins, we travel here every week to eat. We'd love to come eat with you. And so in July, me and my dad went down there. We found a building. We kind of figured out what we had to put into it, and we opened up in Wiggins. And so that was great, and we run that the whole year.
In July of
2024.
2024.
Yep. So I guess that was.
So you're a year and a half in.
No, ma'am. So I graduated from Belhaven. Well, I left Belhaven November of 2024. I worked for Gringo's from November to December to help them get through Christmas, and then I opened up in 24. In January of 24, I took over Mom's restaurant. So it was whatever from July was.
Yeah.
It was a good little stretch. So I was moving a little bit. I was.
You're young. You can
yes,
move.
ma'am. I can move. I didn't sleep a lot, and I still don't. But that's the way I like it. I don't know. It's a great way to go. But so July of 2024, we opened up that restaurant, and we run it real hard. And October rolled around, and Caesar from Gringo's called me, Jonathan's dad, and said, hey, you want to be in the fair? He's like, Mr. Greg Wilcox said there's a spot in the fair. So I had this old trailer, man. I worked on it all night, brought it up there, literally put decals on it in the parking lot the day before, and drove up to Jackson. I bought a smoker from Liberty, Mississippi. I went and picked it up the next day. I worked on it all night the night before the fair and got it running and cleaned out and everything. And, man, we took it at the state fair, and so it was cool. Didn't make loads of money because I bought loads of stuff to go in there, but it was cool because I planted seeds. I spread the name. I met people already that come in the pop-up shop or that's come in the restaurant and ate with me that I met at the fair. So That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then
advertising.
Exactly. People was telling me if you come here, Man, if you was in Jackson, I'd eat with you every week. I heard that 5 or 6 times a day, you know. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I always came up and helped Green Ghost with different events. So I think it was Cinco de Mayo of 25. I was helping them get everything ready. And Caesar and Jonathan said, man, why don't you come up here to the Green Ghost? He said, and sell ribs in our pop-up shop. He's like, there's a whole front bar that we don't utilize but 1 or 2 days a week. He said, we can run a combo menu out of there. You can just kind of manage it and run it and cook. And
you already had Lucedale and Wiggins.
And Lucedale and Wiggins.
Okay, so you're in Jackson now.
Yes, sir. So I'm in Jackson now. And thank you, because I kind of get off and assume everybody knows where I'm at. But I got up there, and so we cooked up there for 3 months, and it was kind of the same thing. It was like, man, you know, we wish you was open more days. You know, we'd run out of ribs at a certain time, and all the feedback we was getting was really positive. But the only thing was we was in somebody else's space.
Yeah.
We couldn't do everything we needed to do. We was running a very limited menu. You know, truck days were different than barbecue requirements because we was all ordering off the same ticket and a lot of things. So some days I would have ribs and brisket, and some days I'd be out of chicken. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't be properly done, but what was being done right. And so our friend Gabriel Prado, who's a Belhaven alum, who's grown to be a good friend of mine, a good friend of Green Ghost's,
entrepreneur.
He is, sure enough, man. That's the definition of that guy. But and he's
got Prado's Hotel. He's got those gas station.
Yeah, Don
Gabriel's. He's got a development going on, some condominiums somewhere. He's bought the English Village in Belhaven.
For sure.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
And so he is the landlord of
me.
The English Village,
Exactly.
And now you've taken the lease.
And he called Caesar and was like, hey, do you want to open up a restaurant? He's like, man, I'm busy all the time. He's like, but my buddy needs a restaurant. He's like, let's hook him up. And so Caesar and Jonathan helped me, you know, get going on everything, hooked me up Mr. Prado. And we went to work. So I think we run the pop-up shop for 2.5, 3 months. And then we started remodeling the building while we was there, doing some stuff on the inside. It was all cosmetic, you know, stuff needed to be done. The building's great condition, but just a lot of stuff that needed to be done cosmetically. And moving the smoker in there was the next challenge. So we got all that done. It was great.
Well, you're open now in Belhaven at the English Village, because I've been twice. And we're going to take a break, come back. We're going to eat some barbecue. You've brought us some brisket today and all of your sauces. We want you to talk about each one of your sauces. And if you want to join the conversation, it's pretty simple and it's toll-free. And if I can find it here, I'll read it to you. It's 1-877-672-7464. You think I would have that memorized by now. Or you can shoot us an email to food@mbbonline.org. This is Deep South Dining on MPB. We'll be right back with more from Kody to talk about his barbecue. Kody McCraney.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, is a brand new companion podcast to the MPB documentary Everlasting, the life and legacy of Medgar Evers. Join me, Rita Brent, as we dive deeper into the story with exclusive interviews and conversations about the enduring legacy of Medgar Evers. Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, available on the MPB app or wherever you get your podcasts, with new episodes every other week. MPB, your stories, our mission.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining here on MPB Think Radio. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to Carol Palmer. It's always good to see you.
Hi, Mal.
And our special guest today, Dakota Kody McCraney.
That's kind of a movie star name, isn't it?
Well, I mean, he played football at Belhaven, and, you know, he's kind of a movie star-looking guy.
Yeah, he is.
And he's from George County.
I don't know what kind of movies you are watching. Crazy.
So, Kody, you brought us some Q here. So,
yes,
again,
yes,
for our listeners who maybe are just joining us, Kody has opened up Boondocks BBQ. This is a 12-year family tradition from the Loosedale, Wiggins area. He has opened up in the English Village Shopping Center in the old Lou's location in Belhaven. He's a graduate of Belhaven University, played football there. And so anyway, Kody, tell us a little bit about what you've brought us to eat today.
Yes, sir. So we do a beef brisket. Pretty much everything we do is while supplies last. So brisket's usually one of the first things you'll run out of as a barbecue place. So we do our brisket a lot different than most places. I cook my brisket in a pan. It helps retain the moisture of the flat. So your bottom bark is not as set as your top bark is, because it's cooked, on a surface that doesn't get a lot of smoke. But it does retain a lot of moisture during that process. So this morning,
it keeps it from being dry.
Yes, sir. That's right. So
okay.
Usually your flat part, and especially when you're mass producing a product like that, your flat part will not be as juicy as your point part, which is the more rounded, fattier portion of the brisket. So we've kind of learned that if you're going to cook that many briskets in a day, you need to do everything you can to keep it moist and maintain it through the day. So that's what we've started doing, and it's been really good. People's really like the product we put out. I go real simple with the seasoning on it. It's both salt, pepper, garlic, onion. I tell everybody that walks through the gate. It's no
special rub.
There's no special rub, man. It's just buying good meat and cooking it for a long time. That's right. We cook it there. I tell people there's 15 hours worth of labor that go into the brisket. So that's seasoning, cooking, and then we wrap it back up and cook it again. So that there's a whole lot of time that goes into the brisket.
Yeah, it's the slowest of all meats, right?
For sure. Yeah. Well, pulled pork is slow too, but it's kind of a one trick pony. You put it in there, you let it cook, and then you tear it up, and then it's ready to go. But brisket's thing, you pull it out and wrap it back up and put it back on. So it has its little way.
Well, you brought some brisket, which Carol and I sampled in the first segment, and it's delicious. Has a very nice smoky flavor.
Thank you.
It's tender. Sometimes brisket can be, a little bit dry or chewy or whatever. I mean, it's a million things can go wrong, I imagine,
yes,
when
sir.
you're cooking that much meat. I thought it was delicious. I've eaten in the restaurant twice. I've had the pulled pork sandwich, and I've had the half chicken. I haven't tried the ribs yet. But they're going to be the next thing I try, along with having this brisket here this morning. But like most barbecue restaurants, you have a variety of sauces. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your sauces and why you've chosen the ones that you have?
Well, so, Mom kind of started off just doing, the sweet barbecue sauce. It was always something that she did. And, that's a combination of some stuff with our rub in it, the same rub we put on our chicken and our chicken and our pulled pork and our ribs. Sorry, couldn't talk for a second. But our chicken, our pulled pork, and our ribs. So that's kind of the blend we go for there. It's real sweet, real brown sugary.
And what makes it sweet? The brown sugar?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Brown sugar.
Okay.
And then
vinegar?
No, sir. So I have one sauce that is vinegar based though.
Okay.
But as far as order of time scale, we just started doing a spicy. A good friend of mine named Brian Howe worked for us for a while and helped Mom come up with a play off of her sweet sauce that was spicy. It was kind of sriracha based, a little jalapeno in it. Stuff like that. So we grew over time, right, as everything does, because everybody's palate's different than everybody. So we needed more things. And when I moved to Wiggins, I met this lady named Miss Sonia Watts. She runs our Bendale location now. And she had this wonderful recipe for a vinegar sauce. So that was the next thing we did. We built a vinegar sauce, and it was good. And, between with her recipe she had and kind of the blend we had in-house, we worked out a nice recipe for that. And then I realized people love this stuff called Carolina Gold.
Oh, that's my favorite.
People love that stuff. And so I got back in the kitchen and started just trying to figure out how to make gold sauce. And
I went to school in western North Carolina, western South Carolina, up near the North Carolina border, and the mustard sauce was it.
Yes, ma'am. So people loved it, and so we made a blend of that. That was a little garlicky, a little sweet, honey.
It's delicious. I like it. It's really good.
And then one day, there's this guy named Mark that works with us. Right, we was making ranch, and so I had like a bowl of sweet sauce over there. And then I had like everything like to get the ranch going. I had like the mayonnaise and you know how to make ranch. It's pretty simple.
Buttermilk.
Exactly. So we're sitting over there with the sweet sauce and everything, and Mark's talking and hanging out, and he just dumps the buttermilk in the wrong bowl. And I said, "Daggone, Mark, you messed up a whole like 2 gallons of barbecue sauce, And he said, "Man, I'm sorry." Da, da, da. And so we was over there and we stuck our finger in it and tried it. I said, "Man, this stuff is killer." And so we mixed it. We added some more stuff to it. And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly right." So we made this thing called buttermilk barbecue. Nobody's ever really heard of that before, but man, it's really good. People put it on the ribs in Wiggins all the time. All the coaches at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College in Perkinston that come to our Wiggins location, they eat it all the time on their ribs and their chicken and their pulled pork. So it's become one of the most popular sauces.
I like it, Mal. Buttermilk barbecue.
Yeah, it's different. I've had it. I haven't quite gotten there yet. I haven't caught up to the coaches at Perk yet. But it's unusual.
It's like you think you dip chicken tenders in it, but you got to kind of fill it out on the ribs.
But it's and so you have the mustard, the buttermilk, your mother's original sweet, and then the vinegar.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right.
Sauce.
So, and everybody wants us to make a white sauce. So that's
like Alabama white.
Yes, ma'am. So I've heard that probably 8 or 10 times since I come up into Jackson. I try to do what the people want, if it's feasible. So I've been playing with that in the evening times here lately, trying to come up with an Alabama white sauce.
Well, and in Lucedale, you're almost in Alabama.
Yes, sir.
You would think that tradition would have carried over a little bit.
Yes, well, basically that side of Alabama that we're close to is basically Lucedale. You know what I mean? Like it's close enough. We're all the same stomping ground. So it works out.
Mal, you've got to go to the Wiggins location.
Oh, are you kidding?
Mal's from Stone County.
Okay.
Well, Kody knows. We met at that Belhaven
cigar night, right?
That's right, that event. And I told you I grew up at White's Crossing on Highway 26, and we have that.
And
in
your
common.
Dad coached at Perkinston.
At Perkinston, my dad was one of those coaches in the 1950s.
He likes the buttermilk barbecue.
Well, it was in the 1950s.
His descendants.
He probably would have liked it, actually. All right, so you're open now in Belhaven. What, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Hadn't been very long.
I think we've been trying to figure out exactly how long. Like, how long y'all been here? We're like 13 or 14 or 12 days,
but not very long.
Yes, sir.
We opened a couple of weeks.
We had a family and friends night on a Wednesday. I believe that was the night. I know. I'm lying. I'll figure out what it is later, I guess. But we had a family and friends night on a Wednesday. We did a soft open for lunch on a Thursday. And then we did a soft open for dinner on a Friday, and then moved into Saturday. And so that was our first full day. So that was the week. That was the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And so then we run it all the way to Wednesday. We took off that Wednesday and Thursday for Thanksgiving, and then started back on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a great success. I mean, with Belhaven College right there, and you're at the new epicenter of dining in Jackson with Polito and Elvy's and Manship and Rowan's.
It's all right there.
All fabulous places. I've been to.
And Malcolm can walk. He walks to all these restaurants. You're in his hood.
For sure.
So you'll see a lot of me.
I appreciate it.
What has surprised you? I guess not a lot has surprised you about the Jackson market because you lived and worked here for a long, long time.
Yes,
but
sir.
Has anything surprised you that's different from Wiggins or Lucedale that you're finding in Jackson? You've only been open for a few weeks, but I'm just curious, is it kind of the same?
In a way, yes, sir. People skeptical when I walk out of the kitchen and start talking to them. I will say that. It's like people's like, okay, am I fixing to spend $20 on something? Is it going to be worth a darn? You know what I mean? Like I walk out. I'm younger. I don't really look like your traditional barbecue guy. I'm walking around in khakis and a button-up shirt or blue jeans and a button-up shirt.
Well, you look like you went to Belhaven.
I guess so. I guess so. I wear this ugly, smelly leather jacket every day, But everybody, once I wind up talking to people and they try the product, it's just, I think it's cool just building relationships with a whole new group of people.
Do you think they're skeptical because it's a big city vibe and there's many barbecue restaurants here and they're thinking, what does this guy from Lucedale know about barbecue?
I think that's a lot.
Or is it just skeptical because you're a new restaurant?
I think it's like the small town. I walk out of the kitchen and I'm talking like I talk and everything, and people's just like, okay, this guy's he talks funny. Let's see what he can do on a plate, right? And so I kind of tell people the story. I let them know about my mom, let them know how long we've been doing it. And they're like, okay, they kind of calm down a little bit, lean back in their seat, and then they get to eat, and they seem really pleased 90% of the time. So it works out great.
Well, where are you staying between Bendale, Wiggins, and Jackson? Are you just keeping a circle going?
Well, when I opened the pop,
parked here for a while.
I parked here for a while. I have a killer staff down at my other two restaurants. I mentioned Sonia earlier. I have a lady named Katrina, Miss Annette. And I got several young girls and guys that's down there and just killing it. Their customer service is amazing. Their food is amazing. I talk to them, every day of the week. Yeah. We talk, even the days we're closed, we're talking every day. So they're handling everything down the coast for me. Of course, my mother, she's retired. She works harder now that she's retired than she ever has. But because I got her hopping.
So mom's still there.
Mom's still there. She wanted to retire, but I needed her too much. I was like, Mom, you got to come back and help me out. We bowed up.
Does she ever sit and say, son, you're expanding too quickly?
Sometimes, but the good thing is we every time before we decide to make a move, we do it as a family and we talk about it and we make sure that our roots are spread out far enough where our tree doesn't fall over. Right. So I pray about a lot of things I do, everything I do, and I think that I'll say, okay, well, good Lord, if you want me to do this, you need to work it out for me, help me out, help me get it ready, and He's provided, and my family sure has been there for me. My friends at Green Ghost has been there for me. So I couldn't ask, anything else out of anybody. I got a great group of people around me.
Well, it sounds like you're plugged into a really substantial network with Belhaven University, with Prado,
yes, sir,
with the Green Ghost guys.
For sure.
It's not like you just showed up on a turnip truck from Wiggins.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So see, once I start connecting all these dots, that's when people start calming down and get ready for their plate, right? And right now it just looks like I fell off a turnip truck in Wiggins, But it goes great. It's been a killer experience.
Well, we're very happy that you came to see us today. Thanks for the barbecue. Thanks for joining us. Good luck. You'll be seeing us in there. Deep South Dining is a production of Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio. Our show is made possible by the generous contributions from listeners like yourself. We are public, after all, and we would welcome you to the neighborhood to join in financing these endeavors. Our show was produced by Marissa Vaughn. For our guest, Kody McCraney, and for my co-host, Carol Palmer, I am Malcolm White. We ask that you now stay tuned for Everyday Tech at 10, Southern Remedy at 11, and join Carol and I next Monday and every Sunday morning at 9 for more Deep South Dining heard right here on MPB Think Radio.